we look at red, green, and blue, they all have a very little peak in color on the spectrum, which means that in order to create a more natural and a more harmonic light for our eyes to look at, we need to fill in the gaps in between. That's where all the other colors come in if we look at white. Also, it gives us more possibilities to mix a very certain color, like to get a very saturated green, for example, or to get a very saturated, let's say, a saturated blue or saturated red, and at the same time being able to mix very pastel lighting colors as well. And so the more colors we have in an LED fixture, the better we can achieve the colors of the color triangle and make it look nice on the spectrum. The difference between color and spectrum is that, let's take, for example, a white light. So we just have a white light pointing at a wall. We might look at it with our eyes and we think it looks nice on the wall, but then we see something that is colored in front of it. And now the LED issue comes in if we mix with RGB. So if we have an object that has a color, or let's say is reflecting a certain spectrum of light that the LED is not providing, or the LEDs are not providing, and we light this item up, obviously, since there's no light from the LEDs on this item, there can be no light reflecting from this item. So we, for example, might see a yellow banana showing up in black because there's just not the right spectrum of light hitting that banana. So it's very important to cover the full spectrum of light to create a natural resemblance of a natural light source as the sun, for example. So with 7 LED colors, you actually get a good balance of a natural looking light spectrum. Well, controlling 7 colors is a complete disaster on a console. It's not easy to control, and it just doesn't make any sense because on-site we usually don't have the time to. Also, and that's a major issue if you're looking at touring, for example, it limits my clone and fixture replace ability for a show. So, of course, if all my colors look amazing on an RGB white UV whatever fixture, that might look like shit if I go to an RGB fixture. So it's always a question of what you're looking at. And I think the nice thing with the Infinity lights is that they only provide CMY, HSI, and RGB color modes. So I, as a programmer, don't have to think. The fixture kind of like does the thinking for me. In my opinion, the only way, if there's a fixture with 7 colors or even more colors and like a lot of LED colors, is to have a calibrated fixture that is providing me as the user with an RGB or CMY or maybe HSI control mode, whatever mode I prefer. And then the fixture does the math itself to figure out what the best way is to achieve the color that I want to achieve.